Okay, for the following function g of x that's graphed as follows, we want to evaluate 6 limits. So the first limit that we're looking at is the limit as x approaches 2 minus g of x, or what we would call the left-hand limit. And if we simply just follow along on the curve as we approach 2 from the minus side, which means we're heading this way, we can see that as we get closer and closer to 2, we are approaching a y value of 3. Okay. Notice that the point 2 comma 3 is not defined, but that's not important when we're answering the question of what a limit is, because a limit is asking what y value are we approaching as the x values approach 2 from the left side. Correspondingly, if we evaluate the limit as x approaches 2 plus g of x, with that limit we are asking the question as we approach 2 from the right, what is the y value that we're approaching? And here we would be on this portion of the function, and we would be heading this way, and we would see from the right side we would be approaching a y value of 1. And then if we were to ask ourselves the question, what's the limit as x approaches 2 on the same function? Well, since from the left-hand side we're approaching 3, and from the right-hand side we're approaching 1, we are approaching two different values for y as we approach from different ways. So in that case, we say the limit does not exist, and we use the letters D and E to abbreviate the fact that the limit does not exist. Okay. Now we're going to investigate the limit as x approaches 5 from the negative side, g of x, 5 from the left-hand side. So in that case, I'll use blue to illustrate that. We would be starting here, and we're approaching this open circle, and as we get closer and closer to 5, we find that we're approaching a y value of 2. Okay. Again, the point 5 comma 2 is not defined on the function, but the limit again asks us what y value are we getting closer and closer to on the function as we are getting closer and closer to a specific x value. So if we approach 5 from the right, we also find ourselves getting closer and closer to the y value of 2 on the function. So the right-hand limit is equal to 2. And therefore, if we were to ask ourselves, what's the limit as x approaches 5 of g of x, since the left-hand limit is 2 and the right-hand limit is 2 also, that means the limit as x approaches 5 is also 2. Thank you.